how has life changed for you post 2018?
There was a lot of stuff that I had to endure. There were threats on my life, and some of it continued way past 2018.
But when you say that you decided to make a comeback of sorts in Bollywood, did you face resistance?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I can't even begin to tell you the resistance and not resistance. I faced walls.
They were like murder attempts on you?
I was in Ujjain in May, and I twice my vehicle brakes were tampered with. So I met with an accident, and it was a very bad accident.
You're saying that these attempts were made by people from within the industry?
Yeah, there is a group working in the industry that is they're very dark. They're very dark, and they're not nice people. I spoke in favor of Sushant Singh Rajput. When you come into the picture and you start supporting SSR, and you did the Me Too movement, I think a lot of people are scared.
If you meet Mr. Nana Patekar today, what will you tell him?
I don't want to meet him, and I don't have anything to say. The only thing that I will hear now is an apology. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to live. मैंने देखा है मौत को करीब से. जब आप मौत को इतने करीब से देखते हो ना, तो आप खुदा का चेहरा पहचान जाते हो. Hi, this is Tanushree Dutta, and you're watching me on Connect FM Canada with Faridoon. Stay connected.
It's always wonderful to have Tanushree Dutta with me, and right now she is with us on Connect FM Canada. Pleasure having you with us, Tanushree.
Thank you, Faridoon. Thank you for having me on your show. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, and I'm looking forward to this interview as well.
All right, so Tanushree, you had posted on Instagram a few days back that silence is indeed golden. In a spiritually ignorant world, to speak or not to speak, that is the question. My word is my sword. I use it in full awareness and precision, but alas, some very dark ones twist it to suit their narrative of me. Look at their character and what all they have done before. You make unholy assumptions of me based on their logic. Then look at me and see what all I have done. How did I do it? Believe. What is the context of this particular post?
Well, Faridun, the context is the fact that I speak so much about God on my Instagram account. I don't speak, I post it. So people don't hear me speak. They don't hear my sound, but they only read what I write. And whatever I write comes from my own internal experience. It comes from my spiritual path. And a lot of people have simply made assumptions that I've probably lost my marbles or something like that. And also because it is so unusual for an actress, for a glamorous actress like me, to be talking about God, because somehow the world has assumed that if you're talking about God, you have to be a very unglamorous person, devoid of any, spunk in life. But this is my passion. I write about it on Instagram, and I got to know that a lot of people are simply making wild assumptions about my state of mind and my mental health. So that is what I was alluding to in that post. I can't help it. This is my passion. Someday in life, I might make it my profession. Right now, it's just my passion, because right now I still identify as an actress, as a model, as a Miss India Universe, as a glamorous media figure. And that is perhaps the only reason that I have not made the switch. And for me, my Instagram is not just a professional tool, it is also a way to serve. I have much to be grateful for. You and I and the whole world knows everything that I've been through, all the difficult times that I've had to literally crawl out of. And I could not have done that without God's grace. And that's why I write what I write. But a lot of people are simply deriving assumptions about my sanity. So that's what the post was alluding to, set the record straight.
All right. So you've said that you're a glamorous actress and Miss Universe contestant, and But at the same time, you also someone who started the entire Me Too movement in India in 2018. How has life changed for you post 2018? The good, bad, the ugly. How do you look back?
Life has changed a lot. I did come back into the limelight because of that movement, something that I was not really very keen about. As you know, that I had really retreated into a very different world. I was pursuing a spiritual path. I was working on myself. I had different goals and ambitions in life. And the Me Too movement simply thrust me back into the limelight, not in a positive way, but there were a lot of negative repercussions also that I faced. I was living a very peaceful life, and suddenly I was bombarded with so much criticism, court cases, and this half of the public in favor of me, half of the public against me. All of that negativity and toxicity took a toll on my health also, apart from the fact that I was dealing with a lot of stuff that I was simply not prepared to deal with. I'd never I never even met a lawyer in my life. I didn't even know all of this stuff, right? I, I was never a Krantikari to begin with. I had never identified with it, but I became one because of the Me Too movement. And, you know, well, when you get thrown into the darya, then you have to swim. If you don't know how to swim, you will drown. If you don't want to drown, just figure it out. So I've had to really literally figure out life. There was a lot of stuff that I had to endure. There were threats on my life, and some of it continued way past 2018, way past 2018. Kind of viciousness and the kind of manipulation and uh, targeted manipulation that I had to endure. It was unbelievable. I cannot even imagine that people can be so evil and vicious. Um, but today I'm much more calm about it. When something happens to you for the first time, you obviously lose your ground a little bit. You freak out, and then you get acclimatized to that situation. So that's where I'm at. I've learned to navigate myself. I've learned to navigate my own mind and sanity through everything that I have endured. And the other thing that has changed is I changed my mind about getting back to Bollywood. I was very against it. I was very anti it. But 2020 made me realize that this is my passion, and why should I have to leave my passion and my, uh, things that I love doing because I had one bad experience. I don't want to be that person remembers that one bad experience and lets that determine all my decisions for the rest of my life. So I decided to, uh, you know, uh, give it another try, come back to Mumbai, come back to India from US, as I think you know that I was settled in the US. I used the opportunity of the pandemic to come back to India and explore my prospects in the Bollywood industry again. So that's in a nutshell.
So you started the movement. You gave a lot of interviews. There was a lot of interest in whatever you said, and everyone was lapping up whatever you were saying. You were part of these panel discussions, and a lot of other things. But when you say that you decided to make a comeback of sorts in Bollywood, did you face resistance?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I can't even begin to tell you the resistance and not resistance. I faced walls. I'm still facing those walls, but today is slightly better. When I came back in 2020, September 2020, when I returned, I really thought that it was going to be a bed of roses for me because I just had the Me Too movement gave me a lot of public, what do you call it, support. But it wasn't like that when it came to work. The people, the general public of the country loved me and supported me because I was standing up for something that very few people were willing to even talk about. I created awareness. There were moms thanking me at beauty parlors. Believe it or not, I would go to beauty parlors and, mother of some daughter would hold me and say, "Thank you so much. God bless you, Tanushree, what you're doing. is so wonderful for this country, for the future generations, blah, blah, blah. But the film industry did not react like that. I was naive enough to think that the people in the film industry would extend the same love, respect, and support to me, but that did not happen. Um, in September 2020, there were very few people who were even willing to meet me or talk to me or respond to my texts and messages. So I had to literally keep my hopes high. I had to pray through it. I prayed every day that these walls that are right now in front of me, these closed doors that I can't seem to break open, that someday some miracle happens and people start responding to me like the artist that I am. I am a talented artist. I've done good work and I deserve at least another chance. And I've not done anything wrong. I didn't understand why this cold treatment was being meted out to me. But I also understand human psychology very well. So I don't hold it against people. I don't feel down and out. I do feel upset. I will probably come back home if I met somebody and I didn't get the right response. If I called somebody, sometimes people would respond to me because out of respect, they don't want to simply not respond to me. But then I could tell that, okay, they're responding to me, but they're not ready to work with me yet. So I faced that a lot in the beginning. And I would break down, of course. I would cry out to God and say, what have I done wrong? That now that I'm wanting to come back to work, come back to my passion, come back to the things that I love doing the most, dancing, acting, modeling. Why am I not being given the opportunities that I truly deserve? And I wasn't asking for like some big mega budget blockbuster movie. Even small opportunities would be enough for me to begin with. But I had to keep patience. I really had to keep patience. I'm still patient. And slowly, slowly, people's attitude started changing. So I wouldn't say that it's still the same. Um, I signed a few movies, but then one movie I signed, a few movies I confirmed, but for various reasons they didn't take off. So I also faced some, what do you call it? There was a concentrated effort to make sure that I don't come back to Bollywood. So apart from people's apprehensions, there was also a lobby working against, me, trying to make sure that I don't, you know, get into something good. So I've had to fight through all of that. And today I feel I'm at a space where things are looking brighter. I have recently come in contact with a lot of new people who are far more interested in giving it a shot, working with me. Um, and yeah, things are looking brighter. There are people interested in working with me. It's just that I feel like sometimes when somebody's interested in working with me, there's somebody else that kind of comes into the picture and spoils it for me. But Faridun, what I believe? I believe in God, and I know that in God's timing and in His will and in His grand plan, I think all of this is accommodated. I know that if it is in my destiny to be back in Bollywood, if it is in my destiny to be an actress again, if it is in my destiny to dance, sing, act, and all of that, it will happen, and it will happen at the right time, the right way. And all of this that I've endured will start looking very small. And who knows, even the people that are actually um, unsure of me, will become very sure of me. The people that are against me might become in favor of me. So I believe in miracles. So I can be down, but I am not going to be out. I'll keep trying. I'll keep, you know, working on myself. I'll keep putting my best foot forward. I have nothing against anybody. So if people want to take their time to be sure about me, sure about working with me, I will give them that time. It's okay. I am not a pessimistic person. That's one good thing about me. So usually I do ride over such situations. But I do want to request everybody that I'm a talented actor. I have done good work, and I have done good for the society. I'm a force for good in the world. And I can do so much more if I get those opportunities that put me back on the limelight, put me back on the, high road again. Because someone like me, when I get opportunities, I take everybody along with me. I'm not selfish. I don't do things only for myself. If I grow, I'm going to take so many people along with me. And it is going to be wonderful for so many of these girl children and kids who, you know, it'll be a good story, So I hope I get a chance again. I hope I get a good chance again. So yeah, that's what it is.
All right. So you've also posted another post on Instagram, and you've ended it by saying fake cases, fake news articles, fake allegations and conspiracies, fake industry rumors, several real attempts to murder, and God knows what else. So you're saying that they were like murder attempts on you?
Oh my God, I don't even know where to begin. Um, there were a whole bunch of things that happened, which initially I dismissed as coincidences. But when the coincidences become too many, you do start suspecting a conspiracy. Um, I was in Ujjain in May, and I twice my vehicle brakes were tampered with. Um, both times the vehicle wasn't waiting. It was not my private vehicle; it was a public vehicle that I had called to go from A to B, and they were in waiting, and somebody tampered with the brake and the clutch of the vehicles. If it happened once, I can understand it's a coincidence because the vehicle was fine when it reached the location. It's just that it was waiting for 20 minutes. I was in my room. It took me a while because I had booked it for a couple of hours. So I took my own time to come to the vehicle. The vehicle driver himself was not aware that his brake was cut off. So I met with an accident, and it was a very bad accident. I was just short of breaking some bones. It set me back a couple of months. It took me a couple of months to heal from that injury. There was a lot of blood loss. And twice it happened when I was in Ujjain. Before that, when I was in Mumbai, there was somebody, a maid, that was, in my words, planted in my house. Um, and I just progressively fell sick. Now, it is my suspicion that there was something that was being mixed in my water because that's what she used to handle. She wouldn't cook, she would only handle the water. And every time I drank that water, which was every day, all day, I felt sicker and sicker and sicker. My brain was not functioning. Faridoon, I can't explain this, but I'm a very rational person. Even when I'm going through a difficult time, and for me, times are not really difficult because by God's grace, I have enough to sustain myself. I've done a lot of work in the past. I have assets. I have my support system. Um, so it's only a matter of time when things work out for me. So I never lose hope. I live a peaceful, chilled life. I work hard. I do my thing. But I always think straight. When I when I started feeling like my mind was not, with me, there was something that was being mixed in the water that was making me sleep for like 8, 10, 12 hours. And I don't sleep so much. I sleep for like 6 hours and I'm fresh and I do 10 things in a day. My energy levels dropped the moment this maid came to the house, and very suspiciously she came. I mean, her whole arrival into the house was also a little bit strange. But at that point of time, I desperately needed someone to work in the house, so I kept her. As I as the days went by, I felt sicker, sicker, and sicker. I had all the symptoms of steroid overdose, corticosteroid, because I went through a battery of tests. I consulted doctors. I, got all my blood work done to rule out any underlying diseases. So sometimes, if you have a chronic illness, it can also manifest as those symptoms. But I was absolutely fine before that maid came. I was working out twice a week. I was going for a walk twice a week. I was reading. I was doing my puja. I was doing my meditation. So all of this is part of my regular routine. I'm a very high energy person, you know. I only sleep when I sleep. Like when I'm tired, I just go to sleep and then I wake up the next day. The moment this person came into the house, and she had lied about everything, she had lied about her background, she had lied about a whole bunch of things, which I found out because I sneaked into her phone, and when I started suspecting things, I, I checked her phone. I asked her for her phone, and I just randomly started checking things that I shouldn't be. And I realized that she had some very scrupulous contacts. Everything that she had spoken, I cross-questioned her. This was towards the end when I was sure that there was something going on. I cross-questioned her. I checked her phone. I basically realized that yeah, this was a plant, and she has been mixing things. My blood work came all right, except that there were certain things terribly wrong. Um, One of the massive indicators of corticosteroid poisoning is that it will give you uh, osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is when your bones become brittle. So when I met with an accident in Ujjain, and the doctors were doing my X-ray, they told me that I'm developing osteoporosis in my bones, and they asked me if I had a history of it, or if I had a family history of it. I said there is no history of it. There's no family history of it. And up until a month ago, a month and a half ago, I was doing hardcore gym with a personal trainer. I was running. I was doing yoga. And I said that it all started when this maid comes into the house and I start drinking the water that she's handling. And I start showing weird symptoms. My thyroid was all over the place. My mind was foggy. I was sleeping all the time. And then even when I'm awake for those few hours in a day, I would take 20 minutes to decide what to wear. I'm not that person. I just know what I have to wear. I know what I have to do. I'm clear. I'm sharp. So when I sit in one place and my mind is so confused that I don't know what to wear, or small decisions are taking me like half an hour, 45 minutes, I know something is wrong. I started giving a chutti for 2 to 3 days at a go, just to test that, okay, if I don't drink the water, if I get bottled water, how do I feel? I was feeling much better when I was drinking bottled water. So all of this happened. I don't want to go into details of it. When the accident happened, um, I I realized that these things have become quite chronic in Bollywood. Um, I did some research. I spoke to a few people. In fact, Faridoon, I will not tell you the name of the actor, but there is a very big actor of today who confided in another actor, and I got to know through via that he's being targeted now by the same people. It's it's just it's just I had to post all that on Instagram because I would never want uh, me to. I don't make it easy for people to trouble me. I don't make it easy for people to walk over me and get away. So the point of posting all that on Instagram was not to get attention, not to, create drama. It was simply to protect myself. Because when you speak about things that is happening to you, and when you put it out there, the people that are trying to trouble you will also become careful because they're like, oh, if anything happens to her, you know, we we are going to be exposed or people are going to come after us. So I did what I had to do. I don't regret it. Um, and everything is fine now. I have taken a lot of precautions to make sure that I'm safe. And yeah, there is a little bit of trauma from the accident. I'm still afraid to, get into a moving vehicle. It's not easy for me to just get in and out of vehicles like before. But I'll get over it, pretty sure.
So you are
Yeah,
saying
Laura.
that you were targeted by some people from within the industry. You're mentioning that there was an actor, like big actor, who also has confided that he's undergoing something similar. So you feel that these attempts, they were made by people from within the industry?
Yeah, there is a group. working in the industry that is, they're very dark. They're very dark and they're not nice people. They're not nice people and they have some very nefarious contacts. Their intent is to control everybody and their intent is to simply trouble anybody who doesn't align with them. Now, I think what must have happened is that two reasons why I might have been targeted, and this is just my assumption. I really don't know because they're not really calling me up and telling me, "Hey, we're, mixing something in your food, or we purposely failed your vehicle brakes so that you meet with an accident." They're not telling me that, but when I did my own research, when I started speaking to a few friends, in private, because you can't really speak about these things in media because you can't take names. You don't have proof. You can't claim that so and so is targeting me or so and so. You can only insinuate indirectly. But I think everybody understands today. When I started doing my own research, I realized that there is a group that that's they call it the Bollywood Mafia, right? Everyone uses a code name, Bollywood Mafia. They operate in such a way that I don't know what they get out of, what kind of pleasure or joy they get out of it, targeting individuals. But anybody who doesn't align with their thought process. And my mistake was that when I came back to India, the first thing I spoke about was I spoke in favor of Sushant Singh Rajput. I put out a few posts where justice for SSR, hashtag. I really didn't think that that would invite that kind of attention, you know. And yeah, I may have been a little strong about it because I'm strong about everything. Like, I don't just post things. I'm very passionate about everything that I do. So that was probably one of the reasons. And the second reason, of course, is the Me Too movement. I really did put a dent in the patriarchal mindset. And when you think of the Me Too movement, you think of Tanushree Dutta. You don't think of anybody else. I was a front runner and top of the pyramid, forefront of the entire movement. It shook the industry completely. And there are a lot of people who are doing far worse than sexual harassment. There are a lot of people over here who are into very dark stuff, Faridoon. After Sushant Singh Rajput's death, I had no clue about all of this, but after Sushant Singh Rajput's death, even I followed some of that drama for a while. There was a lot of stuff that was written about, spoken about, a lot of stuff on YouTube. So whatever I know from YouTube and articles. There's a lot of dark stuff going on. And when you come into the picture and you start supporting SSR and you did the Me Too movement, I think a lot of people are scared. They think, oh, if she gets involved, God knows what's gonna happen. But for me, it was extending my support to somebody passed on, who's not treated well, who deserves justice. And if today, like, and I'm from that state, I'm also from Jharkhand, former Bihar. And Sushant Singh Rajput was one of those actors who was still ready to work with me despite the Me Too movement. Because in 2020, July, sorry, no, June, this was in April 2020, a Bollywood manager called me up. I was in the US and they were discussing some movie project with SSR. And I remember, I didn't know anything about Sushant. I had just seen one movie. In 2020, I saw Kedarnath. Before that, I had not even seen any of his movies. I saw Kedarnath on my flight to US. And I really was impressed by his acting with the movie and everything. So in April or March 2020, this Bollywood manager, who was a brother of my ex-manager, called me up and said, एक मूवी की बातचीत चल रही है और उसमें आपने हीरो का नाम सुना होगा, उसने कुछ अच्छी मूवीज करी है, धोनी में काम किया है, सुशांत सिंह राजपूत करके। वैसे हाँ, मैंने उसकी मूवी देखी, इस बार ही देखी फ्लाइट में अमेरिका आते वक्त, तो हाँ वो है उसमें। तो मैंने सबसे पहला सवाल उस मैनेजर से किया था कि वो मेरे साथ काम करेगा, क्योंकि अब मैंने मूवी उसकी देखी थी, थोड़ा गूगल किया तो मुझे पता चला कि वो थोड़ा बड़ा स्टार है। तो मीटू के बाद तो ये सारे बड़े स्टार्स पहले भी काम नहीं कर रहे थे और मीटू के बाद तो 100% उन लोगों ने मुझे ब्लैकलिस्ट ही कर दिया होगा। 100% मुझे पता था। तो मैंने सबसे पहला सवाल उस मैनेजर से पूछा कि ये लड़का काम करेगा मेरे साथ, उसको पहले पूछ लो मेरे साथ बात करने से पहले। मैंने डिटेल भी नहीं पूछा मूवी का कि क्या मूवी है, डायरेक्टर कौन है, ये है वो है, कुछ बता रहा था लेकिन आई डोंट रिमेम्बर ऑल दैट। मैंने सबसे पहले ये पूछा कि आप पूछो जरा उसको कि उसको काम करना है कि नहीं, मैं वही हूँ तनुश्री दत्ता, मी टू वाली और मिस इंडिया ये वो। तो ही सेड, उन्होंने बात तो छेड़ी थी उनके सामने, उसने मना नहीं किया। मना नहीं किया मतलब वो राजी है, उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता कौन सी हीरोइन। वो डायरेक्टर ने जो डिसाइड किया, प्रोड्यूसर ने जो डिसाइड किया, वो ज्यादा इंटरफेयर नहीं करता है, तो आपका हो जाएगा अगर ये प्रोजेक्ट बनता है तो। So, so yeah, I remember that okay, this was one hero in Bollywood who did not hold it against me, that I was the forerunner of Me Too. He was still okay to work with me. Of course, March, April, and then May, June. Uh, I heard the news one day that he died. तो मैंने प्रोजेक्ट का कुछ चैप्टर कॉपी के लिए खोला, मुझे नहीं पता, मैंने डिटेल्स में पूछा भी नहीं था. So that was the only reason I came back to India and I supported the hashtag Justice for SSR. तो मेरे पीछे पड़ गए, मैंने बोला क्या हो रहा है ये, व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन, लाइक मी टू के बाद थोड़े टाइम के लिए चीजें ठीक थी. January 2020 में also there was an attempt, a covert attempt that also happened where किसी मूवी के मीटिंग के बहाने से मुझे एक 5 स्टार होटल में उन्होंने बुलाया. और जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि 2018, 19, 20 में मुझे मतलब फिल्मों में इंटरेस्ट नहीं था, उतना था नहीं था, मतलब थोड़ा सा श्योर नहीं था मेरा. जब मैं 2020 में यूएस में थी और ये सारे फोन कॉल्स आने लगे थे मुझे, पैंडेमिक के टाइम पे सब बंद था, इवेंट्स मेरे बंद हो गए, मेरा यूएस में जो मेरा बाहर का काम है वो बंद हो गया, तो थोड़ा आई वॉज लिटिल बिट मोर सेटल्ड टू कंसिडर अपॉर्चुनिटीज. तो उस वक्त इस मैनेजर के फोन आते थे कि साउथ की मूवी है, ये है वो है, आप इंडिया वापस आ जाइए, आपके लिए बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज है. जब आई तो वो माहौल अलग था, लेकिन जब मैं वहां पे थी तो फोन कॉल्स आ रहे थे. सो 2020 जनवरी की बात है और somebody literally convinced me to come for this meeting. And believe it or not, Faridoon, everything about that meeting was a lie. जो मुझे उस मीटिंग में ले जा रहा था, एक हफ्ते उन्होंने मुझे बार बार फोन किया, नहीं आप मीटिंग में ले आए. मैंने बोला कि हाँ मेरे घर के पास में मीटिंग करिए, किसी रेस्टोरेंट में मीटिंग करिए, मैं आऊंगी. आई एम नॉट गारंटिंग दैट आई विल डू द फिल्म, पर मैं मीटिंग में आ सकती हूँ. अच्छा, उन्होंने क्या बोला था, इमरान हाशमी मूवी कर रहा है, और मैंने इमरान के साथ ऑलरेडी 3 पिक्चरें मैं कर चुकी हूँ, तो इतना तो पता है कि इमरान ने अगर हाँ बोला है पिक्चर के लिए तो कोई ढंग की फिल्म होगी. ठीक है, छोटी हो बड़ी हो जैसी भी हो, ढंग की कुछ होगी, तो आई कैन कंसिडर इट, आई कैन एटलीस्ट गो एंड मीट पीपल. पर इट डोंट, एवरीथिंग वाज अ लाई. व्हेन आई वेंट फॉर दैट मीटिंग, मैंने क्लियरली बोला था मेरे घर के पास मीटिंग करो, रेस्टोरेंट में करो. उन्होंने लास्ट मिनट में बोला कि नहीं वो भयंकर में फंसे हैं, शूट चल रहा है वहां पे इमरान का, वो प्रोड्यूसर वहां पे फंसे हैं, आप हाफ पे आइए सहारा एयरपोर्ट के पास कोई होटल, ठीक है, आप वहां पे आइए, वो लोग वहां पे आएंगे. तो मैंने बोला अच्छा ठीक है, उनकी प्रॉब्लम है अभी, आई विल कम फॉर द मीटिंग, बट मैं रूम में मीटिंग नहीं करती. मैं कभी किसी रूम में, स्वीट में किसी प्रोड्यूसर से किसी से नहीं मिलती हूँ, मैं रेस्टोरेंट में मिलूंगी. ठीक है, तो घर के बाजू में भी रेस्टोरेंट मिलने का मैंने कमिट किया था, तो ठीक है, हम मैं थोड़ा ट्रैवल करके आ जाऊंगी. उन्होंने गाड़ी भेजी, मैं वहां पहुंची. अच्छा, मैं होटल के नीचे पहुंची तो नीचे से ही बोलना शुरू कर दिया, नहीं वो स्वीट में बुला रहे 2 मिनट के लिए. मैंने बोला आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू आई विल नॉट गो इनटू अ स्वीट टू मीट एनीबडी. कन्विंस करते रहे ऊपर गए, रूफटॉप रेस्टोरेंट में जाके बैठे. तो रूफटॉप रेस्टोरेंट में बहुत सारी पब्लिक थी, लोग थे, बच्चे, फैमिली वगैरह सब थे. आई वाज फीलिंग कंफर्टेबल. अच्छा, गाड़ी में 2 बंदे थे. एक तो ये बंदा था जो मुझे मीटिंग में लेके जा रहा था, जो कि मेरी जान पहचान के थ्रू ही था, इसलिए मैंने उसको ट्रस्ट किया. ठीक है, और एक दूसरा बंदा था जो बहुत ही शेडी था, जो उनकी तरफ से आया था. ठीक है, वो he said he's this and that, but he looked like a bureaucrat. I don't know what, he was wearing a white shirt and it was a little strange. We went to the rooftop and they kept trying to convince me to go into the hotel room. I put my foot down and I said, I am not going into the suite room. और मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा था. मैंने बोला आप उनको बोलिए कि रेस्टोरेंट में आए, 7 मिनट में अगर वो नहीं आते हैं तो मैं यहाँ से निकल जाऊँ. आई विल गो फ्रॉम. So I waited for 7 minutes and I see 6 men come out of the lift into the rooftop. And Faridoon, they looked like goons. उनको देखकर ना मेरे रोंगटे खड़े हो गए। ये जनवरी 2020 की बात, एंड ऑफ दिसंबर जनवरी, मुझे याद है बिकॉज मैं अपने आई वाज गिविंग माय जीमैट एग्जाम, मैं जीमैट की प्रिपरेशन कर रही थी। मेरे कुछ प्लान्स थे कि मैं अपनी पढ़ाई कंप्लीट करूंगी, एमबीए कंप्लीट करके मुझे अपना बिजनेस खोलना था अमेरिका में, या फिर किसी बिजनेस को ज्वाइन करना था। मेरे काफी फ्रेंड्स हैं who were kind of giving me ideas and things like that. तो मेरा ध्यान उस तरफ था एंड आई रियली वांटेड टू डू वेल, बट मैं अपनी पढ़ाई छोड़ के, मेरा एग्जाम एक हफ्ते बाद था, मैं 8-8 घंटे पढ़ाई करती थी, वो छोड़ के मैं मीटिंग के लिए गई थी। और ये इनका रोना शुरू हो गया, नहीं रूम में आइए, रूम में आइए। मैंने रिफ्यूज किया। when these men came out, there were 6 men looking scary like goons. When they came and sat on the table, I had goosebumps. I asked them 7 questions. मुझे पता चल गया ये सेटअप था. I understood, when you have dealt with these kind of people, as I dealt with them in 2008, I dealt with them in 2018, I understood that I was being set up. I was being, they would have called me to the room, done I don't know what. When these people came to the table and sat, I decided to, instead of just walking away, I decided to confirm my doubt. I asked them 7 questions, and they had not even coordinated their lives. Everything was a lie. There was no movie, no Imran Hashmi, no shooting. This guy who had taken me for the meeting told me कि वो मेरे भैया हैं. They were not even related. They had not even coordinated their कि क्या स्टोरी बताएंगे, क्योंकि उनको लगा था कि वो मुझे मूवी के बहाने होटल में बुलाएंगे और मैं चुपचाप रूम में चली जाऊंगी, और उनके जो भी नामुराद इरादे हैं, वेरियस प्लान्स हैं, वो उनको एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे। लेकिन मैं तो रूम में गई नहीं। तो उन्होंने ये नहीं सोचा था कि मैं शर्लॉक गिरी करूंगी, उनको बिठा के उनको डिटेक्टिव जैसे उनके 10-12 सवाल पूछ लूंगी। मैं जब सवाल पूछती हूँ तो फट 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 मैं सवाल पूछ रही हूँ, जवाब नहीं दे पा रहे। दे आर स्वेटिंग, दे लुकिंग एट ईच अदर. Everything was a lie, total lie. And I cannot tell you, like, I have never felt fear like that in my whole life. My stomach was in knots. I was sitting there and I was like, what is this? So anyway, I excused myself and I walked away. So that was January 2020. Then 2020, we're in 2022. So 2022 February, March, that maid comes into the picture, right? उसके पहले मेरी पुरानी मेड थी। तो घर के अंदर किसी का बाहर का आना षड्यंत्र करके पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, बिकॉज मेरे घर पे हमेशा पुरानी पुरानी मेड्स ही काम करके जाती है। ये पहली बार हुआ कि किसी वजह से पुरानी मेड को मैंने निकाल दिया, और आई वाज ट्राइंग आउट सम न्यू मेड्स। तो कोई उसको लेके आ गया। दिस हैपेंड. माय हेल्थ वाज shattered completely. Faridoon, I'm still afraid to keep a maid in the house. I do all the housework myself. So the experience that I had with that, I realized that when evil strikes you, it can strike you in a way that you cannot even imagine. Then the accident in Ujjain.
Right. Okay.
Proof? How much proof do I need myself to tell myself that yes, you are being targeted? Now don't think about it. What I did, I don't think about it. When I identify this is a problem, when I identify okay ये चल रहा है, मैं उस सोर्स को काट देती, मेड को बाहर निकाला। जैन में एक्सीडेंट हो गया, चलो उसका कुछ कर नहीं सकते हैं, आई एम स्टिल अ लिटिल केयरफुल। मैंने सोशल मीडिया पे पोस्ट कर दिया जब मुझे लगा कि हाँ ये चल रहा है कुछ। पोस्ट कर दिया कि भैया कल को कुछ हो जाए तो इनके पीछे जाना, ठीक है, डाउट नहीं रहेगा किसी के पास। So that's why the post. But
okay.
Yeah.
Now, so Tanushree, so as you mentioned, and that your entire take in 2018, it was very polarizing. On one side, you had a lot of support, and there were guidelines that were that were made in various offices, and that that about women's safety and other things. But at the same time, there was also this opinion that maybe it was a publicity stunt. Um, when you look back, did you really benefit? Did you really benefit in any way by really raising your voice, or do you think that there were more negative impact on your personal life and career?
You know, it's very hard to um, determine things like that. I feel like, if you look at it from a larger perspective, it was a good thing that happened in India, because, as we all have seen through many recent cases, our law and order system is really broken. Our law and order system is very skewed towards the rich and the mighty. If you're rich, if you have money, if you have the might and the power, if you have political connections, you can get away with murder. So sexual harassment is a very small thing. People have gotten away with murder. People have gotten away with rape just because they had the power and they had the right connections. So if you look at it from a larger perspective, to have a movement like that happen in the country, which creates awareness, because everything else was operating under shadows earlier. Like, hush, 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 don't even talk about it, hide it, be ashamed. Somebody else comes and does something wrong to you, and you're supposed to feel the shame. And shame is a thing that people carry in their heart for the rest of their lives. And that is what destroys their soul. It creates diseases in their body, it creates mental issues, it creates all kinds of problems. So when you look at it from the larger perspective, I think a good thing happened. But if you look at it from a personal perspective, I make myself a very small, look at it from a small human being's perspective, then yes, it probably did me more harm than good, you know. Uh, but I can't even say it like that, because I also discovered my own strength through this Me Too movement. Me Too movement के टाइम पे भी मेरी लाइफ को बहुत थ्रेट आए थे. पुलिस ने मुझे 7 दिन तक 24 आवर प्रोटेक्शन दिया था, तो वो भी हुआ था. कोर्ट केसेस मुझ पे डाले गए थे. बाय द वे, सारे कोर्ट केसेस रफा दफा हो गए हैं मुझ पे, जो भी कोर्ट केसेस किए थे, क्योंकि तथ्य ही नहीं था. देयर वाज नो, व्हाट डू यू कॉल इट, फाउंडेशन फॉर दोस कोर्ट केसेस दैट दे स्लैप्ड ऑन मी. बिकॉज अगर आप सही हो तो आप जाओ ना कोर्ट पे, आप लड़ो. हम तो लड़ने के लिए तैयार थे, आए ही नहीं. ना उनके लॉयर आए, ना वो आए. और फाइनली कोर्ट ने, सारे कोर्ट्स ने बंद कर दिया फॉर लैक ऑफ, व्हाट डू कॉल इट, लैक ऑफ कुछ उनके टर्म्स है. सो करंटली आई हैव नो कोर्ट केसेस ऑन, एंड दैट आई थिंक इज विक्ट्री also. But when you're going through that situation, Faridoon, it is so scary. On the same day, I received two defamation notices from two different parties. There was a political outfit which was threatening my life. There were some people that were below my building trying to get into my house. Mad stuff was happening. And I'm just a girl. I know that I come across very strong and this and that, and I'm very well spoken and articulate and everything, but I'm a woman by the end of it. I was not designed and built to fight with men like this, you know. I'm a very peaceful person. I like cooking. I like staying at home. I'm not even an outgoing girl. You know what I mean? I'm an outspoken person. I'm a bold person. But you'll rarely see me outside partying, hanging out. You rarely see me interacting too much with people. I don't interact much with men also. I'm a very reserved kind of a person, despite what people think because of Ashik Banaya song. But that's me, artist as a talent. I'm a very talented, very obedient actor. I do as I'm told, you know. And I was new, so whatever, Um, but I don't have the personality. I don't go looking for trouble. I don't go looking to fight. I don't have a point to prove. I'm not an egoistic person. So when all these things are happening to me, can you imagine the level of fear that my family went through? Can you imagine the level of fear that I went through? It is scary. And when you know that the person who is slapping you with a defamation notice is far more wealthier than you, they can employ these big shot criminal lawyers. I can't. Because उनके पास बहुत पैसा है. वो हराम का पैसा है, चोरी का पैसा है, कहाँ का पैसा है वो अलग बात है, लेकिन पैसा बहुत है उनके पास. वो पैसा फेंक सकते हैं, अंडरवर्ल्ड के ऊपर पैसा फेंक सकते हैं. They can throw money at the underworld. They can throw money at lawyers to entangle you in legal issues. They can throw money at goons to trouble you. वो खुद थोड़ी आएंगे परेशान करने के लिए. The post that you mentioned, the PR, there is a strategic PR group that targets me. आए दिन मेरे बारे में उल्टी सीधी articles आते रहते. As an artist, as somebody who has spent more than a decade in media and entertainment, I understand when an article is curated for negativity. कि आप किसी भी आर्टिस्ट से, किसी भी म्यूजिशियन से, सिंगर से, एक्टर से, प्रोड्यूसर, डायरेक्टर, किसी से भी आप पूछ लें हमारे इंडस्ट्री में, हमें समझ में आता है कि जो वो आर्टिकल लिखवाते हैं, ये बहुत कॉमन प्रैक्टिस है इंडस्ट्री में. जिनके पास रुतबा है, पैसा है, पीआर मसल है, वो अपने कॉम्पिटिटर्स के अगेंस्ट एक बुरा सा आर्टिकल छपवा देंगे, या फिर किसी के साथ उनकी प्रॉब्लम है तो उनका पब्लिक परसेप्शन खराब करने के लिए कोई नास्टी सा आर्टिकल, कोई राइट अप या कुछ. ये तो हमने सुना ही है, और रिसेंटली 2020 में तो ये सारी चीजें बाहर आ भी गई हैं कि ये सारी चीजें होती है. दिस इज मैनिपुलेशन ऑफ पब्लिक परसेप्शन, क्योंकि हमारा तो काम ही पब्लिक परसेप्शन पे डिपेंड करता है, राइट. पब्लिक हमको पसंद करती है तो हमारी मूवीज देखने जाती है. पब्लिक हमको पसंद करेगी तो हमको काम भी मिलेगा और हमारा रुतबा भी रहेगा इंडस्ट्री में. और मैंने तो मी टू मूवमेंट जैसा कुछ किया तो इट्स ऑल अबाउट परसेप्शन. इफ यू कैन डिस्क्रेडिट मी, इफ यू कैन प्रूव मी मेंटली नॉट साउंड, if you can prove me something else, then that is how they try to win. If they can prove me anything else apart from who I really am, because they could not do anything in court. उनको पता था. मेरे लॉयर को मैंने एक चीज बोली थी कि आप घबराइए मत, उन्होंने केस किया है ना, डेफेमेशन केस, तो हम लड़ते हैं. माय लॉयर वाज विथ मी, ही वाज रेडी टू फाइट अ केस. आई सेड हम लड़ते हैं, डेफेमेशन बोल रहे हैं ना कि मैंने उनको डिफेम किया है, तो आइए कोर्ट में हम आर्ग्यू करते हैं ना किसने किसको डिफेम किया है. तो आए ही नहीं कोर्ट, उनके लॉयर और वो कोर्ट ही नहीं पहुंचे. तो कोर्ट के थ्रू जो उन्होंने सोचा था कि डेफेमेशन करके इसको कोर्ट के चक्कर हम लगाएंगे, वो नहीं हुआ.
कौन है, मतलब who exactly did not come?
वही जिनके ऊपर मैंने एलिगेशंस लगाए थे, उन्होंने ही मेरे पे डेफेमेशन किया. मैं उनका नाम लेके अपनी जुबान नहीं खराब करना चाहती, सबको पता है, लेकिन दे हैड पुट डेफेमेशन केसेस ऑन मी. तो आप आए क्यों नहीं कोर्ट डेफेमेशन, वो उनकी बात करी, वो आए ही नहीं कोर्ट डेफेमेशन लड़ने के लिए. तो केस वैसे बंद हो गया. जज ने बोला डिफेंडेंट रेडी है, डिफेंडेंट के लॉयर आते रहते हैं कोर्ट में, और जिन्होंने केस किया है वही नहीं आते. तो डेट पे डेट पड़ी और ये लोग आए ही नहीं कोर्ट. तो जज ने उसको क्या रफा दफा कर दिया, डिसमिस कर दिया, खारिज कर दिया. तो इसी से प्रूव हो जाता है कि ये सारा फियर टैक्टिक था, मेरा मुंह बंद करवाने के लिए, मुझे ट्रबल करने के लिए, मुझे डर का माहौल क्रिएट करने के लिए. तो वो जब काम नहीं किया, उनका ईगो तो हर्ट पड़ा हुआ है ना, उनकी पिक्चर बंद हो गई, अभी कोई पिक्चर में ले नहीं रहा है उनको.
Okay, but say Tanushree, if you meet Mr. Nana Patekar today, what will you tell him?
I don't want to meet him, and I don't have anything to say. The only thing that I will hear now is an apology. What will I say? What will I say? That you ruined my career? That you almost ruined my life? जब इंसान अपनी गलती नहीं मानता है ना, उसका अहंकार उसके मस्तिष्क से जब बड़ा हो जाता है, तो वो अपने आप को सही प्रूफ करने के लिए जिसके साथ उसने ज्यादती की है उसके पीछे वो हाथ धो के पड़ जाएगा. जब कोर्ट केस ये सब खारिज हो गया, कोई उसका फायदा नहीं हुआ, लेकिन अंदर क्रोध है ना, गुस्सा है कि अरे इस लड़की ने मुझे एक्सपोज कर दिया दुनिया के सामने, इसने मेरा पर्दाफाश कर दिया, तो इसको मैं अभी बर्बाद करके छोड़ूंगा. गुंडे छोड़े, ये वो सब कुछ. आप अपनी गलती मान लीजिए, बिकॉज मेरा कोई बाल भी बांका नहीं कर सकता, ये मुझे आज यकीन हो चुका है. जो इतनी सारी चीजें मेरे साथ हुई है, लेकिन आज मैं जिंदा हूँ, मैं खड़ी हूँ, एंड आज भी मुझ में उम्मीद है और मुझे यकीन है sooner or later a lot of things that God has designed for my life will come to pass. Because बहुत सारे लोग बॉलीवुड में ऐसे हैं ना, उनके पास पैसा बहुत है, उनके पास रुतबा बहुत है, बहुत बड़े हो चुके हैं, अपने आप को भगवान मानने लगे हैं, खुदा मानने लगे हैं, लेकिन आप नहीं हो खुदा. अगर आप होते तो मैं झुक जाती आपके सामने, लेकिन मैं नहीं झुकी क्योंकि आप खुदा नहीं है और आप बन नहीं सकते. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि मुझे झुका के, मुझे परेशान करके, मेरे पीछे गुंडे भेजकर, मुझे ट्रबल करके आप किसी तरीके से अपने आप को इनोसेंट प्रूव कर सकते हैं, तो वो नहीं हो पाएगा, बिकॉज द वर्ल्ड नोज द ट्रूथ टुडे. सो आई हैव नथिंग टू से टू एनीबडी. आई ओनली आई दे ओ मी एन अपॉलॉजी. दे ओ मी अ वेरी बिग अपॉलॉजी, बिकॉज मैं 24 साल की थी जब ये हॉर्न के प्लीज वाला इंसिडेंट हुआ था, और इससे मेरे जहन में बहुत धक्का मुझे लगा. इट वॉज अ वेरी ट्रॉमेटिक एक्सपीरियंस. जिस तरह से मेरी गाड़ी पे अटैक हुआ, जिस तरह से परेशान मुझे किया गया, और यही सारी चीजें उस वक्त भी हुई. कोर्ट, लॉयर, धमकियां देना, ट्रबल करना, लोगों को भेजकर परेशान करना, पीआर में उल्टी सीधी बातें लिखवाना. 2008 में जब मैं एक लेवल पर थी, मेरा एक स्टारडम था, और उस वक्त तो सोशल मीडिया भी नहीं था कि आप सोशल मीडिया पे पोस्ट कर दे कि भैया मैं ये हूँ, मैं वो हूँ. ठीक है. तो उस वक्त अगर किसी ने ये बात आपके बारे में फैला दी कि आप अनप्रोफेशनल है, तो लोग मान बैठते थे, इंडस्ट्री मान लेती थी हाँ ये अनप्रोफेशनल ही होगी. अगर उस टाइम पे किसी ने ये बात फैला दी कि ये तो ट्रबल करती है काम पे, तो लोग मान बैठते थे. तो उससे तो नुकसान बहुत होता है एक आर्टिस्ट का. तो हमारा तो काम ही चलता है कि जो प्रोड्यूसर डायरेक्टर है, जो प्रोडक्शन हाउसेस है, अगर उनको लगेगा कि मैं आपको काम पे जाके परेशान करूंगी, तो मेरे साथ क्यों काम करेंगे. उस वक्त सोशल मीडिया भी नहीं था कि मैं अपनी बात, मैंने थोड़े बहुत इंटरव्यूज दिए, लेकिन डैमेज काफी हो चुका था. और इतना नेगेटिव जब हो जाती है ना सिचुएशन, टॉक्सिक, यू नो इस तरह का जब एक माहौल बन जाता है, तो आप एटलीस्ट एक लड़की क्या सोचती है कि चलो यार जाने दो, माफ करो, मैं निकल जाती हूँ, मुझे नहीं लड़ना. एक आदमी होगा ना तो खड़ा होकर लड़ेगा, लेकिन जो औरत होती है ना, उसका पहला थॉट आता है कि अरे यार जाने दो, मैं निकल जाती
Okay.
हूँ.
Okay.
तो they
Tanushree,
spoil my career, they
जी.
spoil my life in a way. They have to know that I have nothing to say, but this is their karma, it's going to stay with them, and they will have to pay for it one
Okay.
way or the other.
तनुश्री, आखिरी सवाल मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहूँगा कि दैट a lot of positives came out of the movement in terms of with regards to women's safety as far as workplace is concerned, and lot of efforts were taken. But at the same time, there were several reports that came out that the entire movement was misused as well, and people used it to settle scores and for revenge and say other purposes as well. Do you think in a way that diluted the whole movement?
एक बात बताओ, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि दुनिया में वो 1% लोग हमेशा रहेंगे जो अच्छी से अच्छी चीज को भी मिसयूज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो अब उसकी वजह से अगर हम अच्छा काम करना ही बंद कर दें दुनिया में, तो कैसे चलेगा. मिसयूज करने वाले तो मिसयूज करेंगे, लेकिन वो वही तो पुलिस का काम आ जाता है ना. पुलिस का और लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का काम ही वहीं पे है कि आप सच को और झूठ को आप अलग करो. हमारे पास टेक्नोलॉजी आज है, नार्को टेस्ट, लाई डिटेक्टर टेस्ट. तो ये सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज क्यों नहीं इस्तेमाल होती है फॉर क्राइम इन्वेस्टिगेशन. There are all kinds of crimes that are happening, and it is so easy to find out the truth. You have the technology. हाँ, आपके पास एरोप्लेन है, लेकिन आप फिर भी बैलगाड़ी में चलना पसंद करेंगे, जबकि हमारी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिस्टम का तरीका बैलगाड़ी जैसा हो गया है. 10-10, 20-20 साल कोर्ट केसेस चलते हैं. किसी लड़की का रेप हुआ और 10 साल तक वो कोर्ट केस लड़ रही है, तो उसकी जिंदगी तो खराब हुई हुई. ठीक है. शादी ब्याह में लोचा हो गया और 10 साल तक कोर्ट के चक्कर लगा रही है, तो कौन लड़की आके कंप्लेन करेगी पुलिस के पास. और ये जो मीटू मूवमेंट के टाइम पे तो इस तरह के केसेस बहुत ज्यादा नहीं निकले. सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट के केसेस निकले, जो भी बहुत हल्के फुल्के केसेस देखा जाए. उसमें पुलिस कुछ कर नहीं पाई, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर ने फेल कर दिया लिटरली. तो अगर एक देश की अगर उन्नति हम करना चाहते हैं, सबसे पहले उस लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिस्टम को करेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. हर इंसान को ये यकीन हो जाए, चाहे वो कितना भी गरीब हो, कितना भी अमीर हो, कितने भी उससे कनेक्शंस हो या कोई कनेक्शंस नहीं हो, हर इंसान को कि दिल में ये बात आनी चाहिए कि नहीं, मेरे साथ अगर कोई गुनाह होता है तो जस्टिस मिलेगी. तो अच्छा तो हुआ, कुछ लोग मिसयूज करते हैं, नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन मिसयूज कौन कर रहा है कौन नहीं कर रहा है वो भी हमको नहीं पता ना. वी डोंट नो. We are assuming that it is being misused. यही तो काम है लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिस्टम का, टू फाइंड आउट द ट्रूथ। लेकिन अगर आपने अपना जमीर बेच दिया है पैसों की खातिर, पावर की खातिर, डर के मारे, तो फिर क्या उम्मीद है? और मैं बस ये आखिरी एक बात बोलना चाहूंगी सबसे, जो मेरी बात सुन रहे हैं। मैं क्यों भगवान की बात करती हूँ इंस्टाग्राम पे, क्योंकि ये सारे झमेले के थ्रू मुझे एक ही जगह पे जस्टिस की उम्मीद मैंने देखी। और जो हो रहा है कुछ हद तक, एक ही जगह पे मुझे उम्मीद है, वो है ईश्वर के पास। क्योंकि उस खुदा के सामने सब बराबर है। उस खुदा के सामने कोई मिनिस्टर का दोस्त नहीं है, कोई बड़ा स्टार नहीं है, कोई पैसे वाला नहीं है, हम सब बराबर हैं। तो एक दिन तो हमको उसको फेस करना पड़ेगा ना। अगर हमको लगता है कि हम बहुत बड़े हैं, हम बहुत ये हैं, बहुत वो है, ये शरीर नश्वर है, ये जाएगा, मिट्टी में जाएगा। Nobody is going to take anything from this planet. If you own 10,000 crores, you own 100 crores, you own no crores, you're a pauper. All of us are going to shed this body. We are all going to go into the ground, or we're going to be burned into ashes. And one day we are all going to stand in front of Him who sits on the judgment seat, and in front of whom everybody is equal. आपके सारे गुनाहों का हिसाब वहां पे होगा। और आप जिस चीज से आप बच चुके हैं यहाँ पे अपनी शक्ति और अपनी मसल्स इस्तेमाल करके, उसके सामने आप बच नहीं पाएंगे। तो अगर आज आपको लगता है कि आपने मुझे हरा दिया है, मुझे आपने नहीं हराया है, मेरी जीत निश्चित। सो दैट इज व्हाई आई स्पीक अबाउट गॉड, बिकॉज आई हैव फेस्ड these troubles in life and I had nobody to help me. I had nobody to help me, nobody to show me the light. जब आप इन सब चीजों से गुजर रहे होते हैं ना, आपकी दुनिया बहुत अंधेरी हो जाती है। यू ओनली सी डार्कनेस। यू डोंट नो व्हाट योर फ्यूचर इज। आपका क्या होगा? आप ये सोचिए 2018 में जब ये कोर्ट केसेस वगैरह सब आ रहे थे, अब ईश्वर ने मुझे ही हेल्प मी थ्रू इट। सही लोग आए मेरे पास, सही लोग, कुछ आध लोगों ने सपोर्ट किया, चीजें वर्कआउट हो गई। लेकिन जब मेरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ, जब ये टारगेट मुझे किया जा रहा था और ये सारी चीजें हो रही थी, काम लोग देना चाहते हैं, लेकिन कोई उनको फोन करके बोल रहा है काम मत दो तनुश्री के साथ, मेरे प्रोजेक्ट हो रहे हैं फिर वर्कआउट नहीं हो रहे। अब सारी चीजें सुधर रही हैं, अब चीजें होंगी। लेकिन जब आप अंधकार से गुजर रहे हैं ना, तो बिलीव मी, कोई इंसान आपका साथ नहीं देता है। अपने भी पराये हो जाते हैं। जिनको आप दोस्त मानते थे वो भी मुंह फेर लेते हैं। मैंने ये सारी चीजें देखी हैं। जिनको मैंने, जो दोस्ती की दुहाई देते थे, आई एम योर बेस्ट फ्रेंड बेबी, आई लव यू, यू आर सो गुड, दिस दैट, कुछ नहीं, कोई नहीं रहता। जब आप अकेले गुजर रहे हैं अपने संघर्ष से, अपने द्वंद्व के साथ, आप सिर्फ अकेले हैं। और उस वक्त मेरे साथ वही था। उस वक्त मेरे साथ वही था। इसलिए मैं गॉड की बातें करती हूँ। मैं पागल नहीं हूँ। और अगर कोई पागल समझता है मुझे, तो समझने दो। मैं, अगर ये पागलपन है, तो मैं इस पागलपन को पूरी जिंदगी मेंटेन करूंगी। इनफैक्ट मैं कुछ और लोगों को भी इस चीज से इन्फेक्ट कर दूंगी। क्योंकि जिस चीज ने मुझे सस्टेन किया है, I had the most difficult time of my life, Faridoon. I cannot explain it in words. जो लोग समझ सकते हैं, जिनमें अनुभूति है, जिनमें सेंसिटिविटी है, वो समझ सकते हैं। और कुछ लोग बातें करेंगे, करने दीजिए। लेकिन मैं जिस चीज से गुजरी हूं ना, मैं नहीं चाहती हूँ कि कोई भी उस चीज से गुजरे, बिकॉज कई लोग हैं जो हार मान जाते। और मैंने कितनी बार मैंने हार माना है, लेकिन मैं फिर से उठ के मैं आगे बढ़ी हूँ। आज भी बढ़ रही हूँ। मैंने इतना वेट लूज किया था, मतलब 18 किलो 17 किलो मैंने वेट लूज कर लिया था। मेरे एक्सीडेंट के बाद मैंने 20 किलो पुट ऑन कर दिया। मैंने एक साल डाइटिंग करके, वर्कआउट करके, लिटरली मैंने चावल खाना छोड़ दिया, शुगर खाना छोड़ दिया, दही दूध सब खाना छोड़ दिया, वर्कआउट किया पागलों की तरह करके। मैंने 17-18 किलो वेट लूज किया था। और वो मेड वाला सिचुएशन जब हुआ, कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड जो भी वो मिला रहे थे मेरे पानी में, उससे बॉडी फुल जाती है। एक महीने में आई पुट ऑन लाइक 10-15 किलोज। ये नहीं होता है। मेरे शरीर में ऐसी कोई बीमारी ही नहीं थी जिसकी वजह से मैं इतना फुल जाऊंगी। अब फुल गई थी, तो तब मुझे डाउट होने लगा कि कुछ मिलाया जा रहा है। फिर उज्जैन गई, एक्सीडेंट हो गया। एक्सीडेंट के बाद थोड़ा बहुत जो हिल पा रहे थे वो भी बंद हो गया मेरा। और एक 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 मेंटली Spiritually also, I went to a very dark phase. जब आपको टारगेट किया जाता है ना, आपको पता है कि मौत आपके सामने आपको घूर रही है, क्योंकि उनके इंटेंशंस ही वो थे मुझे खत्म कर देने के. एंड आई एम वेरी इंट्यूटिव, आई एम वेरी परसेप्टिव, आई एम वेरी इंटेलिजेंट. जब मौत मेरे सामने आ रही है ना, तो मुझे दिखती है मौत, मैं देख रही हूँ. वो जो डर होता है ना इंसान का, जब आपको पता है कि कुछ लोग आपके पीछे पड़े हैं, वो आपकी मौत चाहते हैं, उनको आपसे इतनी नफरत है, क्योंकि आपने काम भी वैसे किए हैं. हालांकि उनको नफरत नहीं होनी चाहिए, उनको अपने आप से नफरत है. वो अपनी नफरत मुझ पे थोप रहे हैं. जब आपको पता है कि उनको इतनी नफरत है कि वो आपको खत्म कर देना चाहते हैं, वो जो डर होता है ना इंसान का, आत्मा एक रूह से निकलता है डर. नोबडी वांट्स टू डाई, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू लिव. मैंने मौत को इतने करीब से देखा है, मैंने देखा है मौत को करीब से. जब आप मौत को इतने करीब से देखते हो ना, तो आप खुदा का चेहरा पहचान जाते हो. वो है. और चाहे दुनिया मुझे कितना भी पागल बोले, मुझे लोग मेरे कमेंट सेक्शन में बोलते हैं, बहुत कुछ लोगों ने बोला, मैं आप किसी की नहीं सुनना चाहती. मुझे सत्य पता चल गया है, मुझे सच पता चल गया है, इस दुनिया का सच और इस दुनिया के परे का सच. मैंने बहुत अंधकार देखा है, मैंने बहुत I've seen a lot of darkness in my life. जब आप में आपकी उम्मीद खत्म हो जाती है ना कि मैं कभी भी इस चीज से उभर पाऊंगा, कोई आपकी सिचुएशन समझ ही नहीं पा रहा है, ना आपकी फैमिली समझ पा रही है, ना आपके फ्रेंड्स समझ पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि दे आर नॉट गोइंग थ्रू व्हाट यू आर गोइंग थ्रू. दे आर नॉट बीइंग टारगेटेड बिकॉज दे डिडंट डू व्हाट यू डिड, राइट?
No, no,
You are
absolutely.
alone in that.
No, no, Tanushree,
So
I genuinely hope that you you continue believing in yourself and take care. And I genuinely hope that we see you in movies or OTT shows, whatever you want to do, very soon. And just stay strong. Thank you very much for talking to us.
thank you so much, Faridoon. Thank you for giving me the time to speak my heart out. I really appreciate it. And yes, things are going to be better moving forward. I don't believe that whatever I've endured last lifetime, I definitely don't believe that. I just have one request to everybody who's watching me and hearing me. Don't write a person off just because you don't understand them or their journey or what they've gone through. And don't write a person off just because you don't understand what they're trying to communicate to you. I'm only trying to help because I had no help when I needed help. And that's all I will do for the rest of my life. I will do movies, I will do my glam, my artistic things. But there is an internal commitment I have made in my heart, in my soul, after having gone through all of this, that I will live to help others navigate the darkness to which I have brought myself out of. I'm very positive today. I have a hope for the future. अच्छे लोग भी मिल रहे हैं जो मेरे साथ काम भी करना चाहते हैं. बहुत सारे लोग आ रहे हैं मेरे पास, धीरे धीरे जुड़ रहे हैं. जो लॉबी काम कर रही है मेरे अगेंस्ट, उनके विशेस के अगेंस्ट कुछ लोग आके मेरे साथ जुड़ना चाहते हैं. It's only a matter of time before I will rise again. I will rise again, and I will claim my place in this world again.
Thank you so much, Tanushree, and lovely talking to you, and all the best wishes for your future.
Thank you so much, Faridoon. It's always a pleasure. Like I said, thank you so much for having me on this show. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak my heart out. And this is truly connecting, we'll say. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All the best. Good night. That's all we have from Connect FM Canada. Stay connected.